Radiant team ban. Radiant team ban. Radiant team ban. Dire team pick. Radiant team pick.
Shadow Demon.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Ladies and gentlemen, here we are. Welcome to another day of Dota. Navi versus Team Spirit. It's the to win this semi-final match if you want to have a chance of punching a ticket to the main event. Yeah, even if you don't then win the finals for the CIS and EU regions, you still at least get the chance at a wild card. So even if you come in second in finals, you can still go to the Philippines here into that stage, because that will be also played online, I believe. But of course, regardless of that, you have to win this game. Navi probably coming in as the favorites here into this particular match, but Team Spirit, well, got a couple of strong players themselves. We'll see with the FNG, who's of course has a long history in the CS region himself. Can best Navi, who by all accounts are back. We'll see whether they can prove that right now. Shadow Shaman and Night Stalker, as we have the quick drafts coming on here after the Shadow Demon first pick. Now straight into the Chaos Knight, so max illusions already by the looks of it. So, well, Natus hasn't been banned out. Might very well be banned right now, considering the Team Spirit, well, they have that Chaos Knight Medusa considered to be one of the better counters to it here. If you go for the Agnum Scepter build-up, you can turn things into stone, and that'll also insta-kill illusions. So yeah, gonna get rid of it. It's not impossible to play Chaos Knight up against her, just can get very hard, because you need to get on top of her before she can get any sort of spell out, be it the Mystic Snake with the Axe, or even just the ultimate, which also dispatch of these illusions rather quickly. And then you can just make use of something like a Diffusal Blade, try and kill her off before all of that happens. But the later the game goes, the harder that becomes, even as a Chaos Knight.
10 seconds remaining.
So, we'll see where they go from this point. Also take care of the Chen. That's a Navi classic if I've ever seen one here for general. And, well, I've already got the Shadow Shaman Night Stalker though. We'll... What if they want to run this Night Stalker actually off?
Dire team pick. Radiant team pick.
Send.
A little bit less one-dimensional here with the patch, to say the least, here with the Natotoxin. Being quite useful here in certain circumstances, just having that break capacity in this game. Well, it's not the biggest of deals right now. Chaos Knight, sure, you have that passive, but, well, you're not really going to be super reliant on the crits in most circumstances. Because, like, if you get your Phantom out, you have, like, 2 or 3 extra illusions, that's essentially, like, double or triple damage anyway. And that'll be enough to eat through heroes like Shadow Shaman in a blink of an eye. Night Stalker will not take too much longer. And even the Viper, if you catch him out like that, it's not going to be the most difficult to bring him down with all of that physical damage. Especially if you're considering the kind of setup that teams would have, like Shadow Demon into Sand King, even early on, can lead into some early kills. Maybe not on a Tidehunter, depending on how many levels he's getting early.
5 seconds remaining.
Because level 1, level 2 is actually still quite vulnerable with only 1 point up in Kraken Shell and or Anchor Smash. But once you hit level 4, it gets a lot harder to just whittle away at him with the right clicks. So I wouldn't be too surprised to see teams put some early focus up on that. Try and zone off the Tidehunter, make sure that CK has an easy time farming, because it can be quite annoying to just try and even last it up against the Anchor Smash, just limiting your damage. At the same time, you're also going to have to account for the mid Vipers in one way or another. And he's in a similar position, right? Early on, he is vulnerable to this kind of magical damage and setup from the Shadow Demon Sanking, so we'll see if they end up roaming together a little bit, try and put on pressure there. It also depends on what kind of mid-hero Team Spirit want to pick up now. Whether it's someone that can actually contest the Viper, which is not the easiest. Razor would come to mind as the most obvious one. And might even be banned out if it isn't picked here. Other ones would be Puck, which is still in the pool. Very popular hero these days. That's what they picked up. They actually have played Razor just the other day up against Effect in this very tournament. Invoker also comes to mind. But they played Storm Spirit, maybe not so much up against Viper. It's not exactly a fun time, but for now, it is the Mirana that can very well go mid. Or perhaps could also be a support, for all we know. Shadow Demon Mirana combo in that position, not the worst thing in the world. That would mean that you would run the Sanking in the off lane, and then you'd still be looking for mid hero. But it seems more likely that he's going to be that mid Mirana and just going to take it on the chin, try to play around the Viper, stay away from him for as much as you can. And then rely on these support rotations to make things happen. And with the Mirana in mid as well, just the Shadow Demon alone can be the roamer, essentially. Come in, try and find a disruption, then you can follow up yourself with the arrow. You don't necessarily need the Sanking there as well. He can stick around in the safe lane, continue to help out the Chaos Knight up against the Tidehunter. Unless he ends up being in the offlane anyway. Well, these last couple of picks should tell us a little bit more on, yeah, Navi. I think in there as well that Team Spirit still need that offlaner. So they take out the Omni Knight, which came into... and then with the title also picked by Navi, what's really left in terms of popular offlaners? I guess Darkseer could be one. Haven't run it recently, I don't believe. But there it is anyway, alright. Just checking the last couple of drafts, and I am not seeing it, but don't quite have the data for a few of these matches because of all big remakes and whatnot. It doesn't show up in the draft overview on Buff. But in this game it does make some sense, right? You have the vacuum into the Sand King as like the one stun combo that you have with that. But if you can get it off, then everything else gets a lot easier. Mirana has the extra bit of nuke damage for that, and Chaos Knight, he wants to just... like he's very happy just standing around in one small area where he doesn't have to walk around a lot and doesn't just have to rely on his W to get around and get on top of people. But Navi, Sven's still in the pool. That'll be their last pick, and the counter pick here in some senses to the Chaos Knight. Very momentum-based hero, but with stacking being super popular these days and teams getting really good at it, Sven has that easy way to farm up and ideally not just catch up, depending on landing stage obviously. Like Darkseer is not the best matchup here for the Sven. He will be quite annoyed by that, you would imagine here, especially if Team Spirit also commits more resources up top. And that'll depend on how much pressure General can put up in the bottom lane. So these dynamics will come into play.
5 seconds remaining.
Able to catch up or get ahead with all these ancient stacks and neutral stacks that they're gonna want to do anyway for General here to make sure that he can get a quick mech or blink dagger or whatever he wants to go for first. Probably gonna be the mech, considering. Yeah, with that they should be able to fight quite nicely with the mech, and quickly maxed out Warcry from the Sven to just help you up against the Chaos Knight in different ways, other than just the cleave against the illusions. So basically the idea with the Sven is you just want to get on top of the CK and kill him before he gets a chance to do the same to you and your team. Which is very on the nose, pretty straightforward. Let's see how it works. Oh yeah, actually.
Prepare for battle.
Title has changed, you can stop crying now. And it is indeed Na'Vi versus Team Spirit. Starting on the dire side with a classic jungle invasion. Crystallize, yeah. He's not gonna get called out by that. It's been a while since I've seen teams being giving up first blood in this kind of a fashion. Just running into 5 because you think it's alright. Mostly the dire side will end up in this area. And the Radiant side will go secure the top 2 runes here. And looks like General, yeah, well, he'll end up in the offlane, he'll pull the creep wave. Team Spirit, they're rotating all the way around, plopping down the ward in mid. Full returning, so they're not really rotating the supports up top just yet. Only the one hero that's DK4 is actually going to dodge this Titan in the lane altogether.
The battle begins.
And gonna put the Darks here up against them, which should be absolutely fine too. We'll be able to get the CS, especially out of the safe lane, so you end up with this aggressive tri-lane. with Illidan, FNG potentially setting up, and Biver right now is blocking up mid for ILTW. But again, you do have this disruption into Burst Strike, into Illidan just walking up and just providing whatever he can, Chaos Bolt and Reality Rifts and whatnot. For CK to be really annoying and really strong, obviously he does need a lot of his levels. But in the meantime, he should be able to farm, but they want kills. They want his first blood. They do have to follow up stun there from the Chaos Bolt. It'll be 1 second, but plenty of time for Bible to come in, and that'll be that. First blood secured by him, just... If he was the carry, I would say typical carry teamfight contribution, just swipe in for the last hit, but... Well, Na'Vi, they already made the reaction. The reaction play, General, walking all the way down bottom, still holding onto the TP scroll. And it's gonna go on him, yeah. Plop down, 2 seconds stand now by Illidan. Follow up right clicks, and now the disruption. Takes a little bit more time. It's gonna have to be right clicks to finish him off though, and it's not gonna be enough with the Fairy Fire, barely keeping himself alive. But Anchor Smash here mitigating some of the damage. But yeah, definitely a statement of intent here in this bottom lane. They don't want to leave, even with General coming back. And now, well, another stun after the mango. Follow-up is there. Bye being body blocked slightly by FNG. He's taking up a few tower shots too. And we'll find General. We'll look at right-clicking down, but he's level 2 already. Kraken Shell will make that impossible for Bible alone. Roger actually making the rotation, and well, this tanking will pay the price, more than likely. Maybe not. Tower aggro being shifted here just in time. Roger not having more slows available. He's able to juke his way on out. Very close call though. Now without the Shadow Demon there, you're lacking quite a bit of power. And you end up with a bit of a 1v1 matchup right now, with Senking also being forced to rotate out. He's also getting the bounty runes. So that was his main goal there. That does leave us with the Sven up against the Darkseer. I was talking about it in draft, how that's not the best matchup either. So Na'Vi just trying to make the best out of a bad situation out of the lanes here. The only one that will always go in your favor is the Viper, unless you go for some sort of heavy rotations like this here. Nightmare, Disruption into Arrow. LTW didn't quite get the right position. Then he will be just fine. Without that, he might have been right-clicked down afterwards though. With the level 1 Starstorm. Stun down bottom, Biber's there for the follow-up. He is also not taking tower shots. Another Anchor Smash level 2 at this point. Like, you do very little damage. This is Techie's level of base damage right now that Illidan is doing. And another Burst Strike though, FNG also coming in eventually. Will still be enough. General He is tanky, but not that tanky to just walk all the way from the opposing tier 1 to his own. Alright. So this bottom lane, a lot of effort here committed for Team Spirit, but they're still making it work. Titan though, level 3 and 3.75. Still getting that. A little bit ahead of the Chaos Knight right now. And FNG and Viper looking for something else. Roger, just before nighttime, he's the one who's gonna get ganked. Disruption into Burst Strike, into a couple of right clicks. Minimum mid though, there's a Shackles from ILTW. 1 leap, 2 leap, that'll get him away. And well, Night Stalker proved to be tanky enough to just be able to TP out under both of these heroes' eyes. General, yeah, he wants the bounty rune. Doesn't get it though. Nice Burst Strike to secure that.
Radiant are scanning.
A lot of action, a lot of rotations here. Navi starting to try and match it here with the Shadow Shaman. Hasn't spent a lot of time down bottom. Obviously, you want to try and secure Crystallizer's farm as much as you can, and so far it's been successful. 19-1 to the still 20-4 from DK Phobos. So this guy is level 5.5, and going straight for the Arcane Boots into the mechanism. So already has the Soul Link back in the stash. A lot of stick charges here, so he's gonna get gone on. Start off with a stun, follow up with the shackles. Roger says, well, right, because it is nighttime, so he wants to be making these rotations to try and help out. But he's only level 2, so he wasn't even the biggest part of that gank in the first place. At the same time, down bottom, another disruption. General, well, eventually he'll be killed. You would imagine if they had a vision here. They just throw them on a stun. Elden will secure it with that. And FNG gets a Titan solution to work with for like 5 seconds. Hooray. It's not the biggest of deals. It's a neat little change with the Soul Catcher, and actually interesting to see him go for this build in the first place. I mean, we see a lot of Shadow Demons these days go for the Shadow Poison build, but with the way he's roaming around, obviously, you'd rather have the Disruption to Soul Catcher here, working together with the rest of the team, either Nomrana or the Sand King and the CK. Like, you're not just sitting in lane and spamming down Shadow Poison onto somebody. The arrow will be tanked up by a creep. And, well, that was a little bit overzealous. Top lane gonna go again onto DK Phobos. Soneko can't quite get in range for the shackles just yet though, until it's right under the tower. DB in, coming through. Vacuum comes out, but it's not gonna be enough. Soneko gets the last step of damage out, but, well, can't quite fly across the tree line. Night Stalker will fall in return. Gonna be nice here for Team Spirit. And gold is shared, but Crystallize didn't get the kill. It was towards Soneko. Speaking of Crystallize here, seeing Chaos Knight up against him. Speaking of Soneko too, like he's being bottom blocked by FNG, dragged back by Litten, trying to knife some to creeps, but they are asleep. Woke up a little bit too late to make that happen. So he's just straight up going to die. Big commitment, LTW also making rotation in case it was needed. They can shrine up together here if they want, and exactly what they're gonna do. Then you're obviously still doing extremely well. 37 and 14 to the 20 into ILTW. Couldn't really make too much headway. It's also level 5 to the level almost 7 on Viper. Just the nature of the hero. A lot of time spent by these supports in these other lanes. Trying to stabilize them instead and just try and deal with the Viper on his terms. Which is not impossible by any means, especially here if you have the DK Phobos. Despite that death, he's still doing quite well for himself as far as Darkseers are concerned. He's now matching this rotation with Crystallize, just continuing to be a nuisance. But looking at this mid lane, looking at this Night Stalker, still only level 3, and first nighttime is about to end, which is not exactly the best. Only 1 assist under his belt. And might not get anything else here. Viper, without detection, you can't get him either inside the Standstorm. So, well, at least he's always going to take to the Corrosive Haze. Not Corrosive Skin. Corrosive Haze is something different.
Radiant are scanning.
So overall, teams were not with the worst starts of momentum. Navi, though, they're farming quite efficiently. Crystallize has not really been slowed down despite the Starkseer pressure, sitting at 43 last hits. And the big one is the Viper here. Once he starts to roam around, maybe he even goes back for the Veil build. Right now isn't decided quite yet, I believe.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Like, you can throw out a lot of damage in the mid-game. You can take it over completely, especially if you also have a Sven who has max cleave. And you can set up for that. You can be the aggressor. Divert a lot of attention from Team Spirit away from the Sven, so you can start farming up these jungle camps. No. There's one big ancient stack here. If that's triple. So that'll be extremely helpful. For Team Spirit, they also try and build the momentum even further. Looking for Roger inside the jungle, inside these trees. They will find him. TP coming through though from the Viper. Denny wants to be a part of this, gets banished up. Roger will fall now. Try and transfer over. Another TP coming through though from Seneko. They've already lost the Shadow Demon and now also gonna lose a Darkseer. More than likely a Dende. Already threw out that Viper Strike, so now has to rely on his right clicks. DK Phobos, well, eventually should be called, and there it is. Double kill for him. And that's not exactly worth it. Like, you kill a level 4 Night Stalker, you lose 2 of your heroes. One of them is your solo laner. That's exactly the kind of rotations that I was thinking about just a moment ago. Just Dendy starting to be active and starting to leverage the strength of the Viper. Max corrosive skin, so he's not really easily killable right now. Almost maxed out poison attack, so damage output is also quite nice, just based on that. General though, well, he's still a bit of a punching bag. Doesn't have the Ravage to work with, but no real teammates helping him out. He was thinking about it. Probably for the best that DK Phobos interrupted that with the vacuum. Would not have ensured his survival.
I'll take your tribute.
It was like a 3-hero commitment though, and LTW is still way behind. Look at him. Barely has Aquila completed. This was the one, but he's still working on Facebook. It's 10 minutes in. Look at his net worth, 2.6k, even Illidan. Despite all of the kills and assists that they've been able to get, he's not actually been farming a whole lot, so his net worth is still even less than that of the Tidehunter, who they've been killing. Once you realize that, you gotta conclude, well, this aggressive trial, and even with all of these score points under their belt, it's not really, it didn't really work out well. Didn't really get them as far as they imagined. Because these other 2 lanes they've been farming, they've been going ahead. So it's gonna be down to the Darkseer. He's basically the only one who's got a lot of farm right now. And is continuing to do that. To take these jungle camps with the Iron Shell. So he will have a mech before long. Blink Dagger queued up afterwards. And if you can then leverage that into some sort of tower pushes, then that'll be alright. The thing is, I don't really think they have the lineup for that. Mechanism will be the only push sustain, and they don't have a lot of tower damage until Chaos Knight really gets off the ground. He's level 8, so it's not the worst. 3 points up here after Chaos Bolt, value point into crit, and the one in Phantasm. But you can also use to try and help with tower pushes. And if you get lucky, you get that extra illusion.
Middle tower is under attack.
But still looking for him to just farm up right now, get his armlet. Very far away from that right now, by the looks of it.
The prize is mine.
Well, Navi, especially with the new nighttime coming in, it is Roger's time to shine. LTW does have 2 more leap charges available. Roger can throw out the silence whenever he wants, but he's not getting any help. So that kill was never going to happen. At the same time, DK4 was also rotating around. Can't get in range for the vacuum. I think that would have hit. Roger gets away to 3. Ravage on bottom though. Okay, that's a sinking down. FMG also caught in the middle of that. I think they tried to go for Dendy alone between the 2 of them. Not sure it was going to be possible even without General rotating in. I mean, he's done half health after the combo. Corrosive Skin is a hell of a drug. He's also... Yeah, actually went for the attack speed over the spell lifesteal. Is that a thing? I guess he's going for the right click build.
Thanks. I'm grateful to you.
Allies disappear.
I don't actually know how much of an impact that kind of stuff has, because I don't use it myself, but a lot of people do, so I do apologize about that. Good slice coming through, and will be brought down very quickly here with almost the entire team spirit coming in. Now the rest, Burst Strike across on the two heroes. Dendy doesn't really want to stick around, the rest of the team already dying, throws out the Viper Strike, trying to keep Viper away. General also threatening, but without the Ravage. They don't really care about him. They surge forward, another Burst Strike, and start to right-click him down into the arrow, yeah? Casual chain feed here, just running them down one by one into the jungle. Exactly what I expected, but yeah, this is what you can do. This is still the weakness of the Titans or offlane. Sure, you can win the lane, you can do quite well there, but without that Ravage, you aren't really all that threatening. You don't have a lot of damage output. Now, well, the Burst Strike will miss. I have a very low on health, but there's nothing they can really do to punish that. Still plenty of team spirit heals. Natus Thunder from Crystallize down to cleave away, but now the epicenter. They turn the wrist around. Stick charges into another Burst Strike. They really even have to stop here. Illidan comes through with the Phantasm. Now Dragpack and Crystallize out of armor here right now, but the Shackles will keep Illidan safe. Dandy in the middle of that gets stunned up as Illidan falls. The walls as well. DK Phobos, ILTW trying to do what they can. This time, well, they're out of juice themselves. No more mana to work with to finish up either Dandy or Seneko. So Team Spirit thought that they could turn this around. Apparently, didn't quite have enough power. Well, technically, guys, this is a talk show. I am talking here. And this is a show. So... oh, well. At least I don't have the wrong overlay on. That would be even more embarrassing. General down bottom, Fiverr. Gonna come in, they start off with slows from F and G. Try to hold on to the Burst Strike as long as possible here after the initial purge came through from the Kraken Shell. Don't end up stunning and not getting any stun duration off of it, but... well, 5 heroes down here. No rotations here. He could have gotten a Ravage off potentially. And a pretty good one at that, but... none of his teammates decided it was worth it, so he just takes it on the chin as he did the entire game. Cool guy, 0-5 and 3. So far, I'm not having the best of times.
Under attack. Radiant structures are fortified. Dire's top tower is under attack.
Team Spirit continue to try and keep the momentum up, but is it really working? I mean, Illidan still not farming particularly well. Ideally, you'd have your armlet like 5 minutes ago. But all of this kill participation, it's not really paying off just yet. As you compare that to Dandy, 6 kills, no deaths. That's more like it, right? He's also been farming next to these kills all the freaking time. So he's sitting at 7k net worth. Crystallize not too far away. I was talking about him having that farm potential with the cleave and a couple of stacks that they've been able to get. Now he has the Mask and Madness as well as the Echo Sabers, who's going to be hitting very, very fast. And level 2 God Strength will also ensure that he's going to hit very hard, at least some of the time. Blink Dagger queued up next. That's what they're looking towards here. Probably in the general as well eventually. Right now he wants a Pipe of Insight. Up against all this magic damage that Team Spirit has. So it's Iron Shell's quite annoying. It's mostly against the epicenter, you would imagine. Trying to keep his team safe against that. Because Illidan, as far behind as he is, he's not going to be able to provide a crazy amount of physical damage just yet. So it's mostly... what Team Spirit have is mostly the magical damage. So if he can mitigate that, it should really die on Navi. Now, Moonlit Shadow, they do see Bioware get the surge off before the silence though. So they'll be fine unless they stick around. Bioware just got the Blink Dagger. Force the reveal it getting out. But having that available, still before the pipe, that's still very effective. If they manage to catch somebody off guard without the help of the rest of the team, they can still burst them down more or less easily here. We've seen it up against General. He's one of the tankiest heroes on Navi right now. Then they might give him a run for his money with the corrosive skin. But yeah, neither of them are really easy kills. So they have to commit like almost 5 heroes almost every single time.
The prize is mine.
help with the farming. No minus anything either on CK, so that's something that you see them pick up sometimes. See if they're just AFK farming in the safe lane to just make sure that they can maintain that speed. Because CK not exactly very fast at it, right? You don't have any AoE. Just rely on the good old right clicks. Well, that was an Invis rune. Do we want to try and do anything with that FNG though? Well, disruption into no arrow, LTW. Scared that he'd hit a creep there by the looks of it. Now General, look at him. Rest of his team backing him up. He's very happy just threatening that Ravage. Smoke wrap around. I like this too. Team Spirit. Try and pick up somebody in the jungle. But Navi, not gonna oblige. All sitting there except for Crystallize, and this is a big kill. And they realize it too. And trying to TP out, not gonna get it. Piper getting in range, and this is a dead Sven. Eventually. Pops a God Strength, not sure about this one. Oh, he just wants to farm a couple of extra creeps. Alright, alright.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Oh. Does the illusion also have the extra strength? Should, right?
Dire's middle
You get the
tower
illusion from
has
God Strength? I'm not sure how that exactly works with the Shadow Unit. Speaking of illusions, so the Phantasm ones were taken care of here as they brought down a tier 1 tower, even committing the Shadow Shaman wards for it. So now, okay, gonna run into each other. Roger up to the high ground here at daytime, down to half elf. Iron Shells continue to tick away. Vacuum keeps the Neko away. ILTW coming in for the extra bit of damage, but the rest of Na'Vi coming through to get the shotguns up. Epicenter being channeled up to turn this around. Triple burst strike here. Vacuum but no wall. The Ravage, the wall but no vacuum. The Ravage comes out to turn it. Dandy still in the middle of that, and well, where's the damage? It's not there. Dandy left to his own devices, and it's exactly what I said earlier. One of these Ravages where you'd rather have held on to it because it didn't really do anything. It looked great. But the burst strike beforehand set up for all of that. A lot better here for Team Spirit. They were the ones who came out well ahead. Roger, alright. They want blood, they want revenge. Team Spirit for pretty much the first time this game they actually got themselves. Well, you can discount that in the early parts a little. Alright, that was the Blink Dagger.
Is under attack.
He got deaded, I think it's the technical term.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
And that's still the issue that I see for Team Spirit, despite everything. And, well, the bit of a gold lead that they had all but evaporate because of that as well. They gotta continue Blink forward. Nice little burst strike by FNG. Lays a little bit further with Disruption, but General is ready. We want to get the kill. So Neko was also aiming for it. But it's just a game plan for Navi working out. They got farm on the cores, and that's all they really need. They also got levels on the offline supports. Roger hasn't even had that much impact this game. Still only 3 assists on a Night Stalker, but doesn't really seem to matter because the lanes worked out quite well. Again, even the bottom lane with General being picked off time and time again. He's got his Ravage, he's still got his Pipe. He still maintains more net worth than the Chaos Knight. This is what it comes back to for me time and time again. Which last hits do you have now? 80, yeah. 80 last hits to 191 crystallized, even 130 on Dandy. Well, gets a lot of kills. Couple of deaths here, and if you're not spending the time in between just farming creep camps,
middle tower is under attack.
it's not really working out. And the Chaos Knight that's not scary in a game is, well, exactly that. Not scary for Navi. And it's not exactly game winning either for Team Spirit. We'll see what they can do though. Blink Burst Strike is still working well with these rotations, right? They're continuing to find these kind of heroes. Roger, luckily for him, it is nighttime, so he's able to utilize the flying ability. Now all of them pops the Phantom, gets an extra illusion to work. There's another Blink Burst Strike and okay. Roger, sticking around a little bit too long here. Biver committing deeper for the kill. They finish up tier 1. And they're gonna look for the tier 2 now, perhaps as well. As I say that though, never mind. They want Roshan, they want Aegis in their hands.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
trade-off will be down bottom Sneko committing the Serpent Wars, because that's the only real push that they have between the two of them. We'll get the tier 1 tower.
Has fallen.
They have the Ravage, and looks like they actually want to contest. God Strength available too. So easy. Oh, they actually have the Blink Tank in general too, so yeah, this is the perfect opportunity. FNG doing a good job though, just canceling that Blink. Blink from Bible as well. They bring down Roche, Crystallize, they gets a double stun here. And, well, Chaos Knight will have to pop it immediately out to W. Not in fighting shape. Na'Vi in the middle of the pit. They did lose to Nako here, but obviously the entire team's spirit that can work. Nice little burst strike with General. Purges off the stun, gets a Ravage off. And this time, Sven, right in the middle of that, gets stunned up by an arrow or something, but now back into the fray. Stun up on Darkseer. Just leaves Illidan for General to finish off. He's out on his way out. And, well, he requires some extra help. Crystallize with another blink available. And there it is. They see him. Burst strike, keeping him safe one more time, though. And another banishment. They're trying to prevent a stab on Illidan as best they can. Mirana, well, it doesn't have the same protection. And he's actually cutting up to the north. Instead, they'll settle for FNG. Is still hunting. Does he have a TP scroll? That's the next question. Yes, he does. Alright. FNG giving his life for his carry. And Illidan making a great escape.
Tower is under attack.
But make no mistake, that was still a disaster for Team Spirit. Still lost the Aegis. They lost IL2W, who's, well, don't want to say didn't have an impact because he's 5-1-6. He's got his mental style, like, but it doesn't feel like enough because of the position that they're in as a team in this game right now. Na'Vi only gonna get the Aegis themselves, but just a little bit quicker. And if it wasn't for the place from Team Spirit, like FNG was spamming Shadow Poison up on the high ground, so that was always gonna prevent the blink in from Tidehunter. So they had to come in a little bit slower, but committing like 3 heroes up there was not just FNG, it was also Ivor blinking in. And now, well, blinking in again here, Epicenter coming through in the back. No burst strike, not enough mana for the tip of the stick charger. They'll still find Snake as well as Crystallize with the entire team there, and Denny next on the list. Straight up power overwhelming here for Team Spirit. Na'Vi not ready to react. Again, Team Spirit fucked them one weakness that they have without the Ravage. They don't want the fight, so don't group up. Team Spirit barreling down middle lane. They also have the Catapult, they have the Phantasm, plus the Disruption Illusions. Quite a few CKs here wailing away at the tower.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Back up in 10. We don't actually have either Dendy or Sven, so can they stop this? I don't think they can, actually. And, well, Na'Vi, they had the plan. General trying to slow them down. Snake's there, has the wards. Tends to bring down Illidan, but forced off out of it. Nice little burst strike as well. Into the immediate blink out. So, Team Spirit. She's turning around. Sneko slowed down General. Again, no Ravage, so no reason to stop. Sneko will fall immediately. Roger brought down again. 4-second stun just to have the icing on the cake, and I do not agree with that Ravage. You need to wait for Sven, or at least Dendy to come in. Without that, you just don't have damage. So, well, Na'Vi, at the very least, they keep their Rex alive, so can't really fault them too much, I guess. But yeah. Maybe I've been discounting Team Spirit's plans a little bit too much. I've been hopping on about Chaos Knight not being super scary. He doesn't really have the ability to one-shot too many people. But you still have the extra illusions from the Shadow Demon. You can still get lucky with the extra illusion. Phantom is still having an impact, especially if you can find the initiation, right? Find the quick kill. And if you can play around the Ravage. Because Na'Vi, they're relying on that. As well as Sneko even to get in and provide that extra bit of control. Together with Crystallize to have the God Strength available and be ready at the right time. If Na'Vi don't get that proper chain of events going their way, then actually remarkably fragile as well as lacking that damage output. We saw just then in that mid push. So it doesn't really matter that Chaos Knight isn't as strong individually, because the team as a whole can still get these kills rather quickly if they work together. You'll set the now on Byron. After Blink falls off, he's actually pretty farmed for support. The lowest one in our team spirit is FNG, who's working for the on the Aghanim Scepter. So the dust turned Demonic Purge in charges top lane. Alright. Poor Byron, just as I talked about him having a lot of farm. He gets picked up. But now it's Navi's turn again. They have another Ravage. Try to pressure racks of their own. He taps down bottom though. Well, Illidan drops the Phantasm, doesn't get the extra loot. It's gonna leave them down here, top lane. Alright, FNG just gets annihilated. Navi blinking in. Don't get those racks very quickly indeed. A vacuum. Wall though, trying to turn us around. They instantly get the snipe on Suneko, but Decompose search away before he gets silenced up. Crystallize will finish the racks, and now try and either focus on more heroes or get themselves out, because I don't think it's worth staying around for the range racks. The Wolves will take care of that just fine. You on mid though, well, that was the job of the Phantom Illusions. Trade 1 for 1. Navi, they want more. Out of vision here, it is nighttime, so they have a bit of an advantage with Roger. It was on the front lines though, so it didn't actually provide anything. They have the ward there anyway. Also like how it's further back, because normally you just plop a sentry down here in the front. And that kind of standard sentry will not de-ward that. Don't believe that they have a gem either on the side of Team Spirit. Surely eventually Chaos Knight will catch up. Looks like he's going for the Talbot. Pretty useful, considering that you have a Sven on the other team, and even Dandy, he went for the strike-click builds. Plus 20 attack speed. Attack range is not quite that important. We'd rather have the corrosive skin stats. Afterwards, well, you don't need the poison attack. Affects building is kind of a garbage talent, so we're still going to go for the Viper Strike DPS. Plus 120 damage. It's very nice to have at level 25 indeed. So you can be that secondary DPS that Navi needs. Now, Spirit initiated on here with the hacks, but on Chaos Knight doesn't have Phantom of Death Ravage on the Avalon. Out to everybody, crystallized right on top. Chopping down the CK. Apocalyptic Ultimate FNG slowing down Crystallize here with his ultimate. Kicked down a little bit by Dandy. Not slowed at all, so FNG will fall. ILTW trying to continue to see what he can get. Nice little dodge there actually on a Stormhammer. The Manta style, but Team Spirit still lost 2 heroes. Not quite ready there, and these are the kind of initiations that Navi are looking for. Forward with the Hex, with the Blink Ravage. But might want to think about getting some PKBs here in the start of Team Spirit. Doxy has it queued up right now, middle lane, Fiverr, alright. He was just trying to keep the lane pushed out as far as he could, but didn't quite back off in time. But yeah, BKB in the works on Doxy. Probably the most important one. If he doesn't get stunned up by the Ravage, and then he can get the Vacuum Wall off, and at this point, I mean, the stronger Sven gets, the stronger Viper gets, more importantly here, the stronger your Wall illusions become to help you out, and even the odds to some extent. LTW has some Mjolnir completed. Might want to get a BKB herself now. So funny how it can do that, just blink out of that, but obviously it doesn't do damage. This game, in terms of net worth, it's been remarkably even. Especially with the last series of events, Navi have been able to equalize it almost straight away here after that. After the big of a boost for Team Spirit. Didn't really last long at all. We're slowly but surely heading towards that late game. Sven is getting bigger and bigger. 16k net worth on him now. He has his own BKB, showing off in that last fight. That makes it very hard for Team Spirit indeed to try and control him up even. They still have this Demonic Purge, and they will have a couple of extra charges on that eventually. FNG, not exactly known to be best farmer either, and doesn't have any sort of GPM talent. It's gonna be a while until he actually finishes off that Aghanim Scepter. until then, he's just gonna have to hold on to the demonic surge or purge for Sven in his BKB form. You know, trying to make sure to kite him around as long as you can. But that won't really help you against an initial jump, initial burst of one of these heroes. And if that is FNG, well, can't really cast demonic purge from the grave. 5-minute smoke. Not been spotted out here. Illidan showing himself. But you really need to also get a beat on the other heroes. This Piper, well, let's see him with the ward. Gonna go on instead. Much easier target. Oh, FNG is trying to show himself, yeah. That's one issue. We'll have to look towards vacuum wall here, but, well. It's FNG actually, yeah. Now he managed to make his way out with 1 Shadow 2, so now they actually botch up the initiation. Now they can start to turn things around. No more BKB. Crystallize, slow down. There's a Ravage though. They haven't expanded that just yet. Crystallize with another blink in, but stunned up. No one's dead just yet. Even LCW surviving in the side there. And not the BKB used. This time on Den, he's trying to run down anybody, but there's a lot of spells used and no one's really died just yet either. Walking forward, another burst strike, push up immediately, General. 4 seconds stun though, and yeah, he's left for dead by the rest of his team. Very confused. I was ready to shout out kills and seeing the team fights snowball in one way or another, but now it might actually very well in favor of Team Spirit Crystallize. What was that? Just sticking around on mid while the rest of his team was continuing to retreat. That was just greedy. Nothing more to say there, but yeah. As a result, this Roshan will actually go in favor of Team Spirit. This was the reason why Navi went for the smoke. Well, they really wanted to make a team fight happen. But the target fire just wasn't there. Enough to Ravage, right? LCW dropped super low, but Crystallize went on the other direction, got stunned up again. Team Spirit just kite. Oh. Bit of a lag spike. Hopefully it'll stabilize in a second. But yeah, we're right back. The kiting around Sven so very well. Especially here, since they've been able to kite out that BKB initially. I was questioning here this vacuum wall, but FNG able to extricate himself that time. Still staying alive here for the demonic purge. Extra spells and all the shots to Biver. Finally his burst strikes here with the BKB on cooldown. Well, it's gonna be his job this game. Just slowing down Sven, keeping them guessing, kiting around once, then try and find ways to poke in, get some kills herself. Because Team Spirit realized without these big jumps, without Crystallize being able to dish out the damage, Team Spirit's actually in a good spot. The smoke was broken immediately by Roger, who has an Axe Gem. So you have the vision advantage. Wounded Shadow will not really do too much against them. And it's one of these situations where you still go back for that build. It's not always necessary on Night Stalkers, but up against Mirana, against his Invis potential, you really want that. So Nighttime's still lasting for 4 minutes, it's just a fresh one. By the time it ends, you'll have enough darkness available again to extend it.
Radiant's bottom shrine is under attack.
Smoke up on now B this time around. He spotted out two though.
Radiant's bottom shrine has fallen.
Shrine goes down. Can they find something here? Team Spirit is they're a little bit split up. FNG is showing himself, maybe baiting out a little bit for now. DKFO didn't quite get the memo. Is going to be brought down. Surge not going to be enough. At the same time, the Hex and Chaos Knight. That's a much bigger kill even. Crystallize will still take a while to burst through him, get stunned up. But well, there's no BKB or anything. We'll trigger lose the Aegis immediately. And we'll lose the second life too. Instant attacks. And the rest of the team not coming in. If you had a BKB there, maybe they can make the call. Alright. Buy back on Darcia.
Dire's bottom shrine is under attack.
TP to Shrine or tier 2 and try and fight this, but as it stands, they just lost the huge advantage here that they gained off that series of events before the Roshan. Still have the cheese, it's on LTW. Navi barely down at this bottom lane. They haven't even had to use the Ravage. But big threat is still available to Crystallize. Well, trying to burst down. FNG is still alive, and the buybacks from both of these heroes now finally come out. DK over to mid. Shiva's trying to slow people down. General, last man standing up on the high grounds here for Navi, and gets a Ravage off and absolutely everybody. Denny stuns right away. Slice though, well, doesn't have the God Strength available just yet for another 10 seconds. So again, one of these Ravages where they can't immediately follow up with anything. Seneko will have to give up his life for the cause, or the rest of his team retreats. This lies. Oh, BKB TP. Alright. Can't quite cancel that one. That was still pretty good for Navi, though. They get another tier 3 tower. They force on 2 buybacks, one of them on the Chaos Knight. So if they kill him one more time, they should have an easy time going forward. They didn't lose any of the cores, they only lost Seneko. Navi never really been that far ahead in terms of net worth. Neither team really has for long. The momentum just shifts time and time again. Even now, with the Ravage on cooldown, there is an opportunity for Team Spirit to make something happen down in the bottom lane. They also have the Phantasm. They have ILTW turning into a decent right click here with the Mjolnir. Are they Blink Burst Strike? But hey, guess what? Lincoln Sphere. Not the most common item with Sven, so can't be faulted for not expecting. They're still gonna take the fight. Crystallize with the Yule Scepter, trying to lay him a little bit. They will take care of the Phantasm Illusions, but those won't help Team Spirit to win this fight. Now the BKB on Danny as Ilden comes in again. He hexed, but searched away. Crystallize Blink forward on ZKFO with Epicenter being completely wasted. Navi, they're on the run, on the hunt, forcing Team Spirit to be on the run. Fiverr. Oh, let's see if he gives his life, but just baiting them. They're gonna bring down Shadow Shaman. The Fencer Destructor coming through his Crystallize, finally pops his own BKB. Ilden though, down a half health. Stand up on a Viper here, needs to try and find some right clicks, but they're all so damn healthy still. Another Burst Strike at both of these cores. The cores coming in. Denny, well, he'll eventually fall after the Hurricane Pike. LTW, he's the one finally pulling his weight after this disastrous laning stage, and well, double kill for him. Now it is Navi who get turned around on. These fights just back and forth like this entire game. Roger will be the triple kill for LTW. That'll be the end of that team fight. Ravage is available again. General. Well, he doesn't have his Viper. They will have Sven with God Strength. They're really gonna have to pull it out if they want to save the Rags. At the very least, Team Spirit cannot get Megas.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen. Dire's middle tower is under attack.
But, well, considering the way these last couple of times went with the Blink Ravage without enough follow-up, I can't really blame him for not even going for that. You need your entire team at this point.
Dire's middle tower.
It's so odd to see the CK not doing well at all in terms of net worth, but this team still like keeping themselves in the game and even winning.
Top shrine is under attack.
At least for right now. We'll see whether that'll last. I wouldn't be too surprised if Navi could turn this around somehow with Team Spirit being one to overextend, but well, 2 racks up now. If they play this out properly, then
I'll take your tribute.
Should be fine. Also recovered the gem here from Roger. Like they're using these tools that they have very well throughout the entire game, and the longer the game goes, you get more of these to work with here. Like the old setup from Viper. Continue to help the kite around Crystallize. Whose BKB is done 6 seconds now. It's not a long time at all. 7 seconds on Viper. We've stopped around 2 issues. Especially if you put that in conjunction with all the mobility the teams would have between the Blink Daggers, the Leaps, the Surges. Now I'm gonna shadow forward, Blink First Strike off the channel. Okay, yeah, he just melts. Power of these CK illusions if you have them. Blink Yules here for Seneko. And it's a very quick one. And he even gives them the extra walls to farm up. Which is a big question mark. Now Roshan waiting for him. It may respawn in 17 seconds if it's a really quick one. And it will be very much in favor of Team Spirit. Buyback already used from General here. They need that threat of the Ravage to make Team Spirit think twice about continuing. Maybe back off and wait for this Roshan. 50 seconds on the clock right now. Team Spirit, well, what is set up for that? Push down top lane. Ideally get some vision out there. They have this one on the right hand side of Rosh, but kind of sees across, but not quite. So you want one either up here and up here, or one a little bit further down. Doesn't look like they have too many more wards though right now. Yeah, there's one more available here. FRG bringing that one out. And, well, now you know that Roche has the potential sooner rather than later, so you're gonna have to try and contest this area. I don't think they're gonna win this game with Aegis Cheese and Refresher Shard in hands of Team Spirit. ED Rune, well, Roger. It's not revealed himself, still has the vision advantage, got himself another gem. So, well, unable to deny the DD, unfortunately, but well, at least it doesn't get caught out. That would be disastrous. Errol scared out the fact that Roshan is there for Team Spirit. Both teams on the same page there. They get rid of the vision of high ground. And the Curse Strike, there we go. If they can kill General again, that would be big. Crystallize, also go in here, trying to go on FNG, but he's taking enough disruption here, and all of a sudden Crystallize standing between a couple of heroes who still finish up the kill in the end. And of course, local to vacuum into Ravage though, turning things around. Epicenter in front, not really doing too much with Denny, but Crystallize, well, he will take out in the end to LTW. Shackles onto low ground. Illidan just gets up to the high ground here with the W. Brings down another one. 2 for 2 trade, still very much in favor of Team Spirit though. They did bring down the big heavy puncher. LTW though, well, if he dies, it could be a good turnaround, but Illidan TK4 was taken over, screening for their friend. And now V then dies straight right now indeed. The gem will be recovered. So Roger now has one for each eye. Forcing LTW all the way back. It's gotta be the name of the game now. Na'Vi, they're pretty good at that. Pretty good at slowing down these kind of games. Skipping creep waves here, making sure that you buy enough time as much time as possible for your cores to respawn naturally, because Sven, well, doesn't have buyback. Has enough money, but 2.5 minutes left on cooldown. Team Spirit immediately get anything off of that particular team fight. Still have a little bit of time left. Illidan working away at the Roshan himself. This is the big win condition for Team Spirit. General's there. Cancel region immediately. Errol connects him and Roger on the outside. General does not have the Ravage for 60 seconds. Can't even contest this. Almost have to try, don't they? Anything vision, just trying to be annoying with the Shadow Poison spam across the pit. Na'Vi, you see everything that's going on. Biver, well, so maybe we'll dodge that just barely. There it is, suits up BKB to make sure that there's no way to interrupt it. Illidan will secure Aegis and Cheese while the rest of the team finish off Roger by themselves. Sure, why not? He does have buyback. Might as well just leave no buyback status at this point. And, well, vacuum trying to see him inside the trees, and they go, well, the creeps actually find him. Drops on the walls to try and get rid of as many of these as he can, but I don't think it really actually might matter. It wasn't for his new creeper to come in, so. Because there's still a tier 2 there, but backdoor region will not be a factor despite Seneco's efforts. So now he's on silence for 60 seconds. No buyback available for him. It's only Roger as well as Denny who have it. And isn't him quite level 25 yet, so those plus 1 to 20 damage is not available. I'm not sure if it would even matter, honestly. Illidan, if nothing else, he's pretty damn tanky. He also has an Aegis in his inventory. Here's a Refresher Shot, actually. Darkseer, so double wall, double hex, double Shivers, double Guarding Reef, perhaps here for the heal at very least. Crystallize coming in. They have to do something right now, but force stuff up on Illidan gets himself up on the high ground. Still very much alive. Even if they kill him, it's gonna come right back. Hex coming through, no BKB for Crystallize. And so they're just running them over. One by one. Force nothing around, kiting him, staying alive themselves, only losing FNG, Hurricane Pikes from LTW, couple of extra light clicks, leap forward. Generally, he's still pretty damn tanky. but they don't really care about him. The Ravage has not been enough this game. And this looks like Team Spirit will run away with game number 1 here, and they're gonna get Dandy for good measure. Trying to do what he can. Trying to keep his team alive, buying back. They're not giving up just yet. Not a buyback, just sticking in here for Crystallize. So they have that, but don't have God Strength even. Can get another kill on Survivor. Rex is still standing actually, so as long as there's Rex, there's hope. Especially with the Sven on the team, you can deal with super creeps, mega creeps, technically as well. But you're never really going to push out with just Sven able to deal with it, so this is why Viper is already starting to build instruments for himself. Now he hit level 25, that's it to make the talent decision. Silence's game could be quite useful as well, honestly. TK4 was, despite having queued up, only never actually went for the BKB. Also W also doesn't want to build it himself, and well, CK has it. Was gonna precast the Phantasm anyway, and is what it is. But yeah, just Silence of Darkseer or something if he comes in, preventing the vacuum wall could be a thing. But I'm not sure if it's gonna be enough. But I don't need that extra damage output. He went for it anyway. It's really good utility. And it's more of an issue of making sure to actually have the time to right click. And have the range to right click on even him. Even on Dandy, but most on Crystallize. Right, Navi. Not out of it just yet. Holding on by a thread, but now the gold lead bigger than ever, 18k. 14th closing in on the 20k mark. No more buybacks. Generals will take back in. 20 seconds on the clock there. So it will be available by the time next team fight breaks out. So Nikos maybe if he somehow finds enough money, but I doubt it. Team Spirit has most of theirs. Shadow Demon. 2 books, almost level 25 himself. And that could be interesting. I don't think you go for the Demonic Purge damage here, especially with the charges. Yeah, that's 400 damage. Plus 500 makes 900 times 3? Yeah, that's a lot. Reflies is dodge that with Pierce's spell immunity, but the damage does not, so I think you can still dodge the damage. But Crystallize is a very limited window with his BKB, down to 5 seconds for a long time, so if you just wait that out, you can just triple purge him, but he's gonna be down to very low health indeed. If they need that, you can just straight up kill Shadow Shaman with 2 of those. Glimmer Cape might go off the map there a little bit as well. There it is, the death push. Team Spirit coming in, Illidan has the cheese in his inventory. Pressure shot has been used in this death fight, but they're gonna go straight in, General, with the instant Ravage. Crystallize with a follow-up. Alright, that's a good start. Taking down Viper. Now looking for more. Vacuum in, trying to control them. Team Spirit trying to walk away. A little bit of time here to kite out the rest of Navi. Now full connect. Now maybe they can go back in. Maybe even find Roger. He's just used his flying ability. Can't quite go over the ridge line. But they are respecting Navi now, despite the Ravage missing. Despite the God Strength timing up. It was a death push, but turns out the only death was Viper, so they're gonna stop it in its tracks. Navi's still in the game. Still gonna take like a lot more of these kind of pickoffs and team fights to make it work for them. Yeah. Gee, maybe just 2. Maybe just 2 team fights. Like 1 to win, like decisively, get a couple of these core kills. Core kills, so the arrow just lands on the Sven. Glimmer Cape looking safe for the time being. Team Spirit wants to commit here. Doesn't look like it. Would seem like a throw play if you just go in completely. Roger keeps the taps on everybody though. Gonna initiate here with the benchman on Snako, but KB and Olden, they see Roger in the back. They're trying to bring him down first, and they will crystallize. Double stun though with the Shackles also, keeping LTWs there. He's gonna be the first core to fall. Silence of the Darkseer cannot search himself out of there at all, even if it wasn't off cooldown. Slowed down the Shackle to creep. It's not gonna be helpful. Crystallize though, blinking in for another stun. Godspring still going. It'll be the secondary kill. Alright. That works. Two very important heroes for Team Spirit on the sidelines. Now, you have to push across the river. You have to push all the way to the base, force out these Vilex, win another team fight. And then, maybe just then, you can get another set of Rags, maybe even Mega Creeps. It is a tall order though, because you have two lanes pushing in constantly here with these super creeps. Crystallize, force the TP back, and or even walk back and get rid of that. Push out the middle lane. You have to spend so much time, they can't commit to top. There's still 3 heroes alive, so the moment they split up, they're dead. Team Spirit, you have a kill instinct if they realize that. Okay, that's a link to your pops. Everything coming through, it's a BKB, Crystallize, matches that. There's a lot of illusions, so you can't fight it up against that. Maybe with General though, BKB ended on both these heroes, so Shackled until then, but defense disruption. Alright, that'll work. FNG doing quite a bit in the backlines. They will get rid of Soneko in exchange. But with them, Crystallize on the run. Dendy coming back in. Acceptable Snow available from his Metal Strike. Moving forward, Crystallize. They want more. They want this Chaos Knight. And the very well might get him. There it is. He also has buyback. By LTW, able to hold on to his. He might very well have to use it because now V is in a position where they have the lanes in a decent position. At least mid and top, bottom lane is a bit of a different story. That will claim tier 4 tower. We'll claim the Rax here if the self-responder to not the Rax, the second tier 4, even the Ancient. Not the, oh god. He's dead. That's a refresher, so he can buy back. By the time Team Spirit get across, you will have double Ravage. It can be crystallized here, would be the big one. Double force off of FNG. Does not have any demonic purge charges left in BKB, TB. Nothing I can cancel that anyway. Alright, so now we get back. Didn't quite find the opening. Lost an objective here in the tier 4 tower. Also 95 health points. That'll not regenerate at all. Spirit. A little bit too resilient here with the advantage of having these two Rax pushing in. Now, no Chaos Knight on one side, no Tidehunter on the other. He can buy back, TP in for Link double Ravage. That is a threat here, so Team Spirit have to be extremely careful about how they approach this. Keeping aggressive 4-staffed in, 4-staffs back out. He is broken, so corrosive skin is not an issue right now, but last for a while. They do bring him to safety, but they have to take care of these creeps. Look at the catapults. There it is, that's the buyback. That should mean, yeah, Team Spirit backing off immediately. It's whittling away, slowly but surely. They do not want to throw this game. Na'Vi is a team that don't want to take your chances with like that. Just going in 0-1 in the best of 3 series. Especially with this much at stake. Galaxy Battles. The first major of the new year, 2018, in Philippines Arena, Manila. You want to be able to punch your ticket and at the very least make it to the finals with these qualifiers to have a chance at the wild card. Like if you look at the items, you look at Roger, like 1-11-11, it's not exactly the kind of scoreline that you expect out of a successful Night Stalker. But he's had his uses, even just with the Agnum Scepter and a gem. This vision has been so freaking crucial. And Soneko, well, he's had Glimmer Cave and Ether Lens for this entire game, it feels like. Yeah. It is daytime, so don't have that extra night vision. Wrapping around here with the Midnight Shadow and then like my general here. Second double Ravage is available here if you want to, but Mino in front, back to one absolute everyone else. That's a Ravage 1. Ravage 2 even at the same time, but it felt like nothing. They lost General, they lost Crystallize. It's gonna come right back, but no, he used God Strength here before that. We'll find F&G somewhere down here. Dandy finishing him off, but at what cost? Illidan's still very much alive, Dandy not so much. Forced to buy back again. Crystallizing doesn't have his big punching power. Without the God Strength, you're severely lacking in damage. And that's a Spiteful Illusion from the wall, still chipping away at the melee racks. Team Spirit is still very timid. They don't want to overcommit here to these racks. Just wanted to force these buybacks. That's what they got. Only lost F&G. Gold advantage now, 22k, and guess what? That's not Roshan up. Aegis, Cheese, and another refresher shot. So double vacuum wall, maybe even double phantasm. Wouldn't hate that either. Spam illusions, very strong illusions at that. Spam them down and just right click away at the range tracks. Even with the Sven having the AoE stun and the big fleet, might not actually be worthwhile. Anyway, this is something that Navi cannot contest without the Ravages. Right. Once he respawns, he'll have the first one back. The second one will follow another half minute. Can they hold out that long is the question. Team Spirit. This extra advantage in hand. Can just afford to go a little bit YOLO. Just commit. Try and burst down the Sven here with no regard for losses. And if he's down, or if Dandy is down even, I'm not even sure if Crystallize is a bigger kill here. They die one more time, then that'll be it. It has to be it eventually, right? So far, Navi proved to be extremely resilient, but this game, I think it requires a miracle at this point. Or perhaps Team Spirit just going AFK for a couple of minutes. They can't quite just select a hero, press A, and click on the bottom left-hand corner of the map. Not quite there just yet. But Navi, the monumental task. Well, they're taking the initiative. Blink Ravage, double Ravage going through. F&G dies immediately. Illidan pops the BKB. Has the Cheese in his backpack right now, so he has to force the TP out. ILTW dropping super low himself. He does have the Aegis. Trying to trade here, trying to bring down Dandy. He's left alone, and, well, 4 or 5 heroes around him. He should be able to control up immediately. The Fiver come back in. There it is. They still get ILTW. They still have that power with the BKB. Crystallize is holding on to it until the perfect moment. And now all of a sudden, Team Spirit losing more and more heroes. DK4 was him and Fiver trying to get back in, trying to make use of that Aegis on the Mirana. Getting this one crucial kill on Dandy at the very least. But this is why they're still sticking around in this game. This is why they have this new wind under their sails here, just gaining more momentum in this season as this Navi lineup. This determination to not give up. This is what you need. Especially in this kind of game. Just trust in your ability to take the late game team fights, to take the late games in general, to play it out the way you have to. There's always a way to win. Especially Nick and Natus, especially if Illidan just sticking around a little bit too far forward. It's nullified here, Roger, able to get this extra item. Just a little bit too far away to actually follow up, but statement of intent. As long as it's just a CK, Navi will be just fine pushing down this lane, forcing on a few buybacks. There's one. 30 seconds on the other two. Point to probably just be happy giving up that that building. Poison Tech Effects building is also a talent that he did go for rather than the Viper Strike DPS. That was the first time he actually made use of it. Siege cubes though. Remain the bane of their existence. But yeah, that's late game Dota for you. It was a 22k lead for Team Spirit at one point, now back to 13k. Like almost a 10k swing here on the back of the team fight, and there's no reason why Navi would not be able to find a similar kind of team fights. I mean, that was a fight where Team Spirit had Aegis, Cheese and Refresher Shot, and they just lost it that decisively. At some point, it doesn't matter how the game went; it just matters that where you are right now, which is, well, we have all the tools. We have double Ravage again available for general. well, everyone has the core items, everyone has the tools that they need, then it's just a matter of using it properly. And making sure that you actually get kills with them. Or just commit for the throne, but that's the thing. Team Spirit, well, they got a question. Maybe they've been a little bit too timid earlier. Maybe there was a timing window that they missed. But it's very hard to make that judgment call, even for me, because I'm a scrub. But especially if you're in the game as well, you don't have all the information that I have. So if I have a hard time calling it, well, they do as well. The other team will die. It's a bit of an issue. FNG, 100 seconds on the sidelines. No buyback for him. Missing the gold. And BKBTB, just make sure. Into the other lane. Oh no, it was RTW pushing this. Right, doesn't force a reaction, so Navi can't get anything else off of that. Unless they somehow battle down on RTW, but yeah, he's backing off towards the rest of the team. Next Roshan, what's the start on that? 2.40 seconds. No, wait, that doesn't make sense. 2 minutes 40 seconds. Alright, there you go. Only got a couple of hours sleep after casting for 8 days in a row in this game. Staying in to just towards the 65-minute mark, and I don't have a co-caster, so I do excuse these small little lapses from me, please. 2.4k gold on the Sanking. Wonder what he wants to go for. He only has that Agnum Scepter. Are there any other items that we missed, actually? I guess Talbot and DK4 was like, he's completely stacked. LTW with the MKB, so all these butterflies might actually eventually be phased out. Okay, that is Ravage comes through. General showing up, double Ravage available to bring down one. Buyback immediately, and now a bit of a turnaround. Vacuum into the wall. Pretty good start now. Phantasm. 4 seconds on to Tide Hunter. It's not exactly the most important target. You only use Ravage and stand there. His TP will be cancelled though. Him and Crystallize still sticking around to stay ripe for the taking. They'll bring down Sven. They'll bring down Dandy. Triple kill for DK Forwards. That's the wall illusions for you. And also, extra initial damage. Pretty damn solid. Cost them a buyback onto Illidan. But Dandy and Crystallize, both of them down. Both of them will have buyback taking in. That's the only reason that Navi go for this kind of play into the dire side base. Didn't quite expect it. They went for it anyway. 2 buybacks used already. Dandies will be available in a couple of seconds in case they're needed. But Team Spirit, well, I don't know if they just say, well, enough is enough. Let's just freaking go. But Dandy buying back. Just putting it on cooldown, I guess at this point is better than just holding on to it for as long as you can. So now only General has it. Single Ravage available in 35 seconds. Secondary Ravage, another 30 seconds after that. And then make this work now. Super coming through, General. Still committing on him here, so he's tanking that. Pressure, the release Crystallize, double stun. Starting in here onto LTW, 1 leap, 2 leaps, up the high ground. Nullify to Chaos Knights, he's actually in a little bit of trouble. That's so fast, but the cheese eaten. We'll make sure that he survives. Denny, not so much. That's a dieback for him. And now the Storm of the Crystallize. If he falls here too, then it's all over finally here for Team Spirit. And lost LTW, bites back immediately, ready to boot off travel right in the middle of that. Onto Illidan though, who just dies before that. General had the refresher tick in, so ILTW has to make the long walk. Somehow Navi holding on. That was the wrong target to TP to, like, let's be real here. That was a misplay, but regardless, 100 seconds on the sidelines for 3 of Navi's heroes. They were never gonna win that as soon as ILTW got back across. So GG is called regardless. Team Spirit win game here in this best of 3 series in the Galaxy Battles EU qualifiers.